Hey everyone, Lone Wolf Jet here, and it's been a while, so let's get back into Gotterdamerung. Before we do, I'll let you guys know that yeah, the event's still going on. What I'm doing in the event is I'm farming QP. Okay, I'm doing one of the assassin nodes, one of the 30 AP assassin nodes, and I'm using Nero, Merlin, someone else's waiver, my own waiver, and well, Cash Geo because for the extra stuff so I can get some QP. Basically, I'm doing those little caster battles, turning them into QP, so I can get some rank, get some servants, whatchamacallits, up. I haven't done the, no, it's not that. I haven't done Shuten's rank up quest yet. Don't really, I'll tell you this. The reason why, because I don't use Shooten that much. So I'm just, waiting on it. Also, let's accept the daily stuff. Over the weekend, we got the past few days we got stuff for Labor Day. Okay, and get Mystic Gunpowder. Okay. Anyway, when last we left off on Gotterdamerung, we had gone to those plains with that little girl from the village, so she can get her herbs and whatnot. So let's find out what we're doing now. We're at village. We're going to village 23, starting a new section. Lord of Creation End. All right. So let's start this quest with no battle. Shutting down high-speed mode now. Good work hanging on, everyone. Our current estimated location is atop what used to be Lake Venern, the lake northwest of Lake Vatern, which means this village almost certainly didn't exist in proper human history. We're here! Welcome to my village, Gerda. I gotta great. Now I gotta redo that. Foo. This is so strange and wonderful. I thought guests only showed up in stories. I never thought I'd get to actually welcome real guests myself one day. And you must both be envoys too. Have you ever had anyone visit from outside of your village before? No, we haven't. All the villages really keep to themselves. Oh, but maybe it's different at the other villages? I see. This was a lot bigger than I expected. Same here. From the outside, it looked like a fairly wide area surrounded by large wooden walls. Although there are surprisingly few houses, I guess there can't be more than 50. The part that stands out the most is the large gate that makes up what looks to be the only entrance. I don't know much about architecture design, but this place does seem to have its own unique style. Also, some powerful magical energy here. The whole village is surrounded by a bounded field centered on that large gate. It's designed to keep away giants, beasts, and other beings related to magecraft. I can feel it weighing down on me too, though only a little. Although I didn't notice it at all until I was out inside. I'm guessing it's the snow. The magical energy mixed in with the snow and ice, and the magical energy that makes up this village's bounded field are extremely similar. It's a very static, sedate kind of energy, as if its presence were the most natural thing in the world. It's calm, gentle, and very stable in the amount of magical energy it holds. Maybe kind is a little too vague. I'm not quite sure how else to put it. So, like magecraft designed to enrich people's lives? Yes, that's a much clearer way to put it, Senpai. All that aside, this village is really spacious. Maybe that's because there are so few houses. and a large plot of farmland in the center. I can see they grow all sorts of crops here. There's wheat, numerous fruit trees. It's just like Gerda said. It's as warm here as it was in that flower garden. And someone just started up their vehicle. Excuse me a second. And I'm back. I see what these people are doing behind me here. They were doing what used to be done in my old neighborhood, using 2 vehicles to take up 1 parking spot. So one person can when they get home, can park. Yeah, it was a common thing in my old neighborhood. What my nodes here. This explains how people could survive even in a lost belt predominantly made up of snow, ice, and fire. Oh, there's still one thing I don't understand. If battlefields are so crucial to ensuring people's way of life here, who put them up? Fool. Maybe Major is a part of everyday life here, even more than it was in Russia. Or maybe there's someone in these villages who knows how to work with bounded fields. Bounded field? Are you talking about the charm on the gate? I didn't really understand most of what you were talking about, but I do know that every village gate always has a charm on it. The envoy put them there for us. They keep out all the giants, the ice beasts, really anything scary. I'm surprised you two didn't know that since you're envoys. Is that just the way it works, Lady Mosh? Oh, well, I think you may have the wrong idea about us. I don't believe we're what you call envoys. Although if envoy is a term used for visitors, then I suppose we might qualify. Oh, I got through. Let me see, is this thing on? This is the shadow border. Can you hear me, field ops? Ah! Foo. Director? Director, it's you. I thought we can communicate once we got a few kilometers away. Yes, well, my technical advisor has been testing out a number of different things in between her work on repairing the border. Sorry. Yes, well, my technical advisor has been testing out a number of things in between her work on repairing the border. All under my impeccable supervision, of course. Yeah, sure. And thanks to those efforts, we've been able to deploy a Mystico drone to extend our comm range. Also, it should help us both observe and communicate over greater distances. But I don't think it just sadly start working now. Of all times. Just my luck. Neither our technical advisor nor any staff are here in the cockpit right now. They're all out repairing the border. Ooh. Who's this tiny see-through tubby man? He's fat. I've never seen a fat person before, so this is what they call chubby. Chubby? Is he a friend of yours, Lady Mosh? Does that mean he's an envoy too? Fool? Tubby? Did you call me Tubby? Well, this is a communicator. It's a tool we have for talking to people far away. Also, the director may be big bone, but is that child native of this place? Then he must have found a safe village. Then again, if that foul-mouthed little brat who doesn't understand that mocking people's body types is not acceptable and is anything to go by, then our culture must still be at the nadir of civilization. Well, no matter. Children do tend to be naturally cruel, and my skin is quite thick by this point. I'm not the least bit bothered. Sure you aren't. Just never mind the child. Just give me a detailed report about your situation. And you. So I made your way to this village after rescuing that child. It seems you put your experience in Russia to good use. Or I suppose I should say my supervisory role in Russia has benefited you even after that lost belt. Not bad making it this far, this fast. Let me begin by congratulating you on your good work. I'll be sure to share your information with the rest of the staff, including the technical advisor, Da Vinci. Now, given that our connection is still unstable, we can't talk for long, it seems it's time I took matters into my own hands. Foe! You're going to come here, Director? What do you think I am? Some adventure crazed nut like the rest of you? I'm talking about the remote integration of local via this transmission. But not this child, obviously. We won't get anything useful out of her. Not now then, little one. Me? Run along and get your parents, if you don't mind. I need to talk to them. Parents? What are those? Huh? Your mother and father, of course. If they're dead, your legal guard will do. Oh, you mean the goddess? I hear she is everyone's mother. Every human is the goddess's child, after all. But I'm afraid the goddess isn't here, Mr. Chubby. Oh. Gerda? Don't tell me you have no concept of parents. I've never heard such a culture. I suppose it is possible for some newer religions, but given your primitive-looking clothing, I can't imagine York Village is part of something like that. What's going on? All right, then, just fetch me your village elder or mayor or your supervisor. I don't know. Supervisor? Yes, a capable, distinguished person who's in charge of everything, like me. Distinguished? Does being a chubby person make you distinguished? That has nothing to do with it. Good heavens. Girl, didn't your parents raise you to? All right, you don't have parents, do you? Well, you know, someone with authority in your village. What? The most amazing person in your village. The one you can always count on to help you out. Are you talking about the envoys? Lady Mosh is certainly more amazing than most normal people. The only other amazing people I can think of are the giants and the envoy. But the envoy isn't coming until tomorrow. Envoy? Gerda calls me an envoy too. I'm afraid I'm still not sure what she means by it. What I mean? An envoy's an envoy, right? I mean, no human could ever defeat a giant. But never mind that. I still need to show you around properly, don't I? Welcome, honored envoys. Oh, you too, Mr. Tiny See-Through Chubby. Welcome to our home, Village 23. Please let me repay you for saving my life. You can spend the night in my house. I'll be 13 soon after all, so I've already got my own house. We can have our dinner in front of my fireplace. Oh, I can get out that meat I've been saving for a special occasion too. This will be great. We can have freshly baked bread and get some fish, and I'll get some fish too. I'll go fishing before it gets dark and make sure to catch the biggest one in the pond. Well, freshwater fish I can do, so I'm good. Popo. Wait, hang on. What did you say your village's name was? Village 23, right? Yes, that's right. What about it? It just sounds a bit... Why is your village named with a number? There's nothing strange about it, after all. It's Gerda! Gerda's back! Welcome back, Gerda. I can't believe it. You really came back from the outside. You did get the herbs that the legends talked about. Now Laura's gonna be all right. Hooray! Who are they? Ooh, there's a white animal too. It is an animal, right? What is it? Is it a mouse? Wow, you're so pretty, miss. Your black armor is so awesome. Pretty hair, pretty face. You look like the envoy. Oh, are you an envoy too? Your boobies are so big. Oh, you look so cool in that armor. Senpai? What's... That old guy's so tubby. Why are you so smaller than us, even though you look so old, mister? Be quiet. Do you children ever stop squawking? Just run off and play, would you? Or better yet, go and fetch a grown-up. I don't actually see any grown-ups. That's true, I haven't seen a single adult yet. Since the village appears to rely on agriculture for its survival, maybe that everyone working age is just out in the fields. But if that's the case, then why aren't there any elderly people around? What? Is that true? Well, of course, it's mostly children here. That's how it is everywhere, right? Besides, you're so funny, Lady Mosh. Everyone knows the elderly are just from legends. Of course, you're not going to find any in a village. I mean, every grown-up leaves when they turn 25, right? What? Yeah. Yes? Huh? What in the world are you saying? They can possibly survive out there. Oh, with all the giants roaming about. Yes, I know. Every grown-up with a 10-year-old child leaves once they turn 25 and gets eaten by a giant. So nobody ever lives past 25. Okay, that kind of reminds me of a movie years ago called Logan's Run. Look it up. It's from the 70s. I think it's the late 60s, early 70s, somewhere around that time. And if you haven't had a child by 15, then you have to go too. I've heard that's true for every village. At least all the villages from 1 to 100. What? Then you're telling us there are no adults over the age of 25 there? None? And that people who turn 15 without having children have to leave to die? Oh, I'd be so screwed. Children, the grown-ups raising them, are the only ones allowed to live in the 100 villages the goddess in her own way has made for us, after all. There's nobody over 25? Lady Mosh, Lady Solaria, Mr. Chubby? I'm sorry, I don't understand. Why are you all so shocked? That's just how it is. It's the same everywhere, right? I'm turning 15 in 2 years, so if I don't have any children by then, splat! That'll be it for me. This is absurd. Everything you're saying is ridiculous. Well, the way your mind works is too. Do you even grasp what you're saying? You're telling us that there are only 100 people in each village? That you have to die if you don't have a child before you turn 15? That you'll die in 2 years? Are you some kind of homunculus? How can you say things like that as if they were normal? You even look happy about it. Fool. Huh? You too, fool? What happened? Why do you sound so sad all of a sudden? Oh no, did I say something to offend you again? Uh-oh, now what do I do? Okay, we're back here. What an elegant castle you have here. I like it very much. It's wonderfully designed, of course, but I also love your choice of materials. It's made completely out of ice, after all. No human would ever live here, no matter how beautiful it is. The perfect witch's castle. Something humankind yearns for, but can never hope to reach. You really do have excellent taste, Your Majesty. Who said this was made of my taste? Who said this was made of my taste? Who said this was made to my tastes? Oh my, you mean it isn't? Does that mean you prefer something more typical, like Cinderella's castle? Cinderella? I've never heard the name, but she certainly sounds interesting. She must have lived a life full of hope and surprise, one far removed from the life of a woman of ice and snow like myself. Oh yes, without a doubt. The early part with her stepsisters abusing her was great. Then she comes out on top at the end of the stepsister with her sisters together just desserts. It's a positively repulsive story. I'm just so relieved that you weren't like that, Your Majesty. After all, you hate happy endings, don't you? Just look at this cold, utilitarian world you've designed. Makes me want to friend you on Magebook. Magebook? So I guess they have a Mage's version of Facebook. I'd like to know just how many human lives you've seen come to a miserable end. After all, you didn't build this castle for humanity to enjoy, did you, oh goddess? No, I did not. This castle exists for me, not for the benefit of humans. I'll admit that Odin was a fine man in his own right, but he was also a god. He would never bestow upon me a castle designed to accommodate humans. The Allfather would never concern himself with human weakness. The thought would never even cross his mind. Indeed, humans are weak, frail, so very fragile. Their lives are snuffed out by the mere passage of time. That is why they will always need the balanced love of a god to sustain them. Oh my, love, you say? I guess I had you figured wrong after all. So that's how you're running this place. You have 100 villages with about 100 residents in each, making for a worldwide population of no more than 10,000 people. Under most circumstances, they would just end up going extinct, But you've kept them around for generations without letting their numbers increase. Their war revolves around the empty happiness of their daily lives and heartless suffering that comes right at the end. There's no point in tormenting people like that. No one would have been so unmotivated here. It turns out this place was filled with love all along. Couldn't possibly get further from my tastes. Of course, humans must not die out. They too are my beloved children. They too survive the days of scorching flame. As their god, I will never stop loving humans. I cannot speak to other worlds, but that is the way of this one. Why don't you just show yourself right now, Skadi? I said long ago that I will love my children for eternity. Why would I ever destroy them? And you really have no intention of destroying humans. Does that mean your majesty thinks they are worth protecting? You certainly ask many strange questions, Foxwoman. I would never think to destroy them. Every creature in my domain is treated the same way. Did I not tell you that? Well, I'll tell you what that was. Did I not tell you what that was? It is a simple question. Do I kill them or love them? If they are an enemy, then I kill them. If not, I love them. To be the mother of Scandinavia is to love all creatures, great and small. None must die out. None shall die by my hand. Even if Odin himself proved to be incapable of such a feat, I'll never stop trying, no matter how many thousands of years it may take. That said, yes. That said, at times, the giants must be offered a sacrifice. Why won't they just reveal Skadi? Ah, Cristaria. Ophelia, your concerns proved to be well-founded. The Russian lost bell has been destroyed. It won't be much longer before it disappears entirely. Now that we'll never be capable of welcoming a new god. What a pity. All the more so given the strength of its history. In regards to Kadok, I said all I had to say during our meeting, so I'll be repeating myself here. But I do need to commend you for your outstanding accuracy in predicting this outcome. I didn't. You give me far too much credit, Lord Cristaria. Ophelia, I want you to run your lost belt however you see fit. Once the tree of has taken root in the world, it is not that world's king who will continue to develop it, but we cryptors. In the end, that responsibility falls to us alone. We cannot delegate it to anyone else. The Queen of Ice is known as both generous and cruel. I understand dealing with her must be quite stressful. But I want you to persevere. I know you are more than capable of doing so. You have your own fire burning inside you, yet you keep yourself as cold as ice. That is why I know I can trust you with Scandinavia. With all due respect, Lord Cristaria, I can't take any credit for predicting this, while speaking solely based on my own feelings. I'm so ashamed. Here you are praising me for keeping my cool, and I'll fail utterly to do so. It's all right. What he said was exactly what Kadok needed to hear. No amount of cool-headed logic was ever going to help him with his complex about me. Your admonition was far more effective than any encouragement I could have given him, even if it did come too late. At any rate, none of the other cryptors know that Russia has fallen. All I heard about it from Canis, and you from Koyansaka. Akuta has cut off all communications. It seems her lost belt's king is quite a find. After all, even Akuta of all people couldn't help but frown when she made her report. I even heard her sigh. I can only imagine her lost belt's king must be either extremely unruly or extremely daring. I'd love to speak with him myself at some point. Hinako sighing? That is a surprise. I never once saw her so much as crack a smile, even around Pepperonkino. That aside, shouldn't we tell the other cryptors about Kadok? No need for that. His failure has no impact on their work, after all. Given that Pepperoncino's lost belt has an alter ego, it's only a matter of time until he learns about it. Barrow's lost belt is nearly on the verge of disappearing itself, so I imagine he has his hands full just keeping things going. Are you sure we can trust Barrow? The man is a criminal, a murderer. He kills just for the fun of it. He's a disgrace to humanity. I don't see how a killer known as werewolf, despised throughout the clock tower, could ever hope to successfully expand a lost belt. All that is part of why I trust him to uphold this, and Ophelia. Barrow is just as good at deceiving himself as he is others. The more distasteful he finds a job, the more earnestly he will work to see it done. As for Kadok, there's no need for you to concern yourself with his well-being. Just focus on getting rid of Chaldea. I have every confidence you can do it. I have every confidence you can do it. You're far more capable with me when it comes to combat, as your miraculous eye can even wound servants. Clock Tower authority figures are gone. They have no sway in this world. No one will hold you back anymore. You are free to use your power however you like. Your eye is no longer that of a shunned child. Thank you for saying so, Lord Kristaria. I'll bear that in mind. Your Scandinavian lost belt is a rare and important one, particularly given that one of the old gods still resides there. What's more, she is benevolent. Having her accept and support our new world will be a tremendous asset. I have high hopes that you will be able to convince her, Ophelia. Thank you, Lord Kristaria. I won't let you down. Oh yes, I almost forgot. Case should be paying you a visit soon. Treat him as you like. Thank you for your consideration, Lord Kristaria, but I'm afraid I have to tell you something. Case is a divine spirit, and beyond my ability to keep in check. I hope you forgive me if I'm able to stop her from clashing with my lost belt's king. So you're concerned that the queen and your knight may end up destroying Canis' spirit origin. I see. That's most encouraging to hear, Ophelia. This only reaffirms my decision to entrust you with this lost belt. I look forward to your next report. I expect that will be when new scenes have formed. Wodime, Lord Kristaria, Wodime. That's a woman's face. I've seen faces like that before. I may not know any personally, but I can't help but remember them. So you really are a woman at heart, Ophelia. You're not meant to use your spirit form of peeping. Your job is only to keep me safe. Don't misunderstand me. You are my knight, my sword and shield. I never asked or wanted anything more from you, and that's never going to change. Know your place, Saber. Or do I need to remind you of my serious light? I know I'm supposed to protect you and kill your enemies, Ophelia. But is that necessary here? Yes, humans have demonstrated incredible power before. At times they've rebelled against gods, tricked giants, and even killed dragons. But not here. The humans here aren't people anymore. They're livestock. None of them are any threat to you. These humans used to be just like the ones in proper human history. Weak, transient beings whose only purpose was to be our prey. This world belongs to a goddess. Even if there are less than 10,000 lives and 10,000 humans here, it is still a pure land ruled by a goddess of old. Or Kristaria said it could end up the lost belt left standing, the last lost belt left standing. The fact that a goddess rules it also means that it's a perfect place to experiment. That's why this lost belt has so much potential. In fact, it is far more than the sum of its parts. Oh? In terms of potential, at any rate, if we can grow a tree to maturity, we might be able to breathe new life into humanity and nature alike. I don't care how much contempt you have for humanity as a result of your origins and temperament. All I care about is that you don't let your guard down. Again, you're my shield and my sword. Don't forget that. You and I share the same responsibility. We must grow this lost belt's tree of emptiness to full maturity. That is your sole concern. I've never been much of a gardener, but if you insist, Ophelia, I guess I've got no choice. I can still feel his gaze. I guess my knight will always be peeping on me, no matter how many times I tell him not to. I can tell he's still there, smirking at me from behind my back. Just how long are you planning on watching me? I know I said you're my knight. That doesn't mean. Oh, you again, huh? The way you completely lack any presence. I mistook you for a servant. Is this something you want to say to me? I still hope you're not going to comment on my womanhood like Saber did. I can't hear anything. What's your name? Am I ever going to get to hear what you sound like? Well, you already know my name. What is that thing? Okay. Well, next one's going to be another no battle one, but we'll do that one at a time, as this one's ran way longer than expected. Till then, this is Love Jazz saying thank you all for watching. Take care of yourselves.